Today I want to focus on an ongoing debate regarding Ripple versus Stellar. There are many voices out there that are explaining that the Ripple solution and the Stellar solutions are similar, and that in fact they're both competing over the same space for cross-border payments and remittance payments, a space that is currently occupied by SWIFT. It's my opinion that Ripple and Stellar are not actually competing with each other, but are in fact complementary with each other to really fill out the entire needs of the payment space from large commercial banks and financial institutions, B2B, business to business, B2C, business to consumer or customer on the retail side, as well as P2P, which would be person-to-person transactions, as well as the web monetization. So it's covering the entire scope. Hi, this is Jeff with the HODL Report. Join me on today's video as we explore Ripple and Stellar taking on the behemoth global financial concerns of payments. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to give a thumbs up. I'm sure you have an opinion on the Ripple versus Stellar discussion, and I would really love to hear your opinion, your thoughts. So leave some comments below so we can engage in a little bit of discourse. If you haven't subscribed yet, or if you haven't told your friends about subscribing to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and forward it on to your friends so they can subscribe as well. Now, to understand the complementary nature of Ripple and Stellar, we really need to look at the similarities and the differences, and also how the digital assets XRP and XLM are important to the overall strategy and success of both Ripple and Stellar in this space. So first, let's look at the similarities. Ripple and Stellar are both focused on payments. I think we can all agree to that. Each offers a solution that provides a complete transaction through a digital asset. Both Ripple and Stellar have a solution that is fast, low cost, and secure. Both Ripple and Stellar can be used as a platform to develop other great solutions like Coil, Codius, StellarX, and Stronghold, to name a few. Now let's take a look at the distinctions, and this is it's really important to understand the distinctions as there are very noticeable differences between Ripple and Stellar. The primary differentiator is in their business model, or their business mission statement. The business mission statement is really the core focus of the company, their goals, their drive, and their activities, which really gives them the direction to develop their business and grow their presence, in this case, in the global payment space. So let's take a look at the business mission statements, and we'll start with Ripple. So from the Ripple website, Ripple provides one frictionless experience to send money globally using the power of blockchain. By joining Ripple's growing global network, financial institutions can process their customers' payments anywhere in the world instantly, reliably, and cost effectively. Banks and payment providers can use the digital asset XRP to further reduce their costs and access new markets. So I think here's where we need to underscore the fact that we're talking about banks and payment providers. So Ripple is singularly focused on replacing SWIFT and emphasizing their primary target customer as banks and financial institutions and payment providers. Now, this is a very important distinction, as Ripple is focused on updating the antiquated, or replacing the antiquated solution that SWIFT provides and has provided since the early 70s. Ripple takes this approach and goes beyond what SWIFT is offering. SWIFT is just really a messaging provider between financial institutions to transact the message of the financial transaction. And within Ripple, what we're really seeing is, again, we're seeing a complete solution, a complete settlement solution that includes the messaging component through Xcurrent, a standardized method of sending payments through XVIO, which is coming online soon, and full liquidity with the X Rapid solution utilizing the XRP digital asset, which just went live a few weeks ago. Again, the focus for Ripple is, let's call it, I don't know if macro is the right terminology in this case, but let's call it macro, or really the larger corporations, so the large institutions, the banks, the payment providers that are moving large sums of money across borders and for the remittance payment focus. Now, on the other side, we have Stellar. So the Stellar the Stellar business statement, mission statement from their website states, finance with a mission. With a team of top technology and finance professionals, the nonprofit Stellar.org expands access to low-cost financial services to fight poverty and maximize individual potential. So there's a couple of distinctions here. One, it's a nonprofit organization. Two, their focus is to really expand access to low-cost financial services to fight really the low-cost financial services, then providing the low-cost financial services to fight poverty, and finally to maximize individual potential in really these developing nations. The Stellar is really focused. Again, their focus is on payments using a digital asset, which is XLM or Lumens, for transactions which are focused on serving developing communities, the underbanked, the unbanked, with an emphasis on managing smaller payments with significantly lower costs. Now, these smaller payments we can focus in on as micropayments. Where Ripple is more B2B driven, Stellar is really more B2C and really more P2P on the person-to-person level, the business to consumer level, but on a smaller scale. So where Ripple is moving large sums of money, the Stellar concept is smaller amounts of money, micro payments, and if you're sending a transaction for $1,000, even $10 out of that is significant. $5 out of that could be significant, but we're not really even talking about it. We might be talking about moving $100. We might be talking about moving $50 in transaction, because we're looking at a community that is typically poor, they're developing. The amounts of money that it takes to survive in that environment is significantly less. But if they have a relative that is in a host country working and they're sending back salary, they could be sending back $100, $200, $300 at a time, and even a fractional amount that's currently being taken out when they're using the typical ways to move money. It's relatively significant amounts that are coming out. But with the Stellar focus, Stellar is singularly focused in this case on the micropayment movement to the underserved communities in the world. Now, again, I want to emphasize micropayments, and I think we need to underscore that micropayments is really a key term and also a key differentiator between Stellar and Ripple. And so this is something that has to be highlighted, and I want to repeat again and probably again after this. But so micropayments is a key term that is used, which really highlights the concern for the primary business focus of the Stellar organization. I think this is, again, something that we all have to understand, and this is the differentiator. So where, again, when we look at the similarities between Ripple and Stellar, yes, we get it, they're in the payment area, the payment space, they're potentially competing in payments, but when we get into the payments sector, now we realize that there's definitely a distinction. And again, micropayments, moving small amounts of money from bank to customer or person to person efficiently, effortlessly, and with little cost, and this is very important. So there is a clear and obvious distinction between Ripple and Stellar. However, the two appear to be so complementary that it almost seems planned. Two companies with a similar product, a similar passion for changing the way payments are transacted around the world. Ripple focused on the large financial institutions, and Stellar focused on the individual payment transaction needs. Is it possible that they had this planned out in advance? Is this why they split? Is this why Stellar was founded? I don't know. Not sure if that's the case. But really, after thinking through this, it does seem plausible. Again, I'm just making an observation and a little bit of speculation, and it can be completely inaccurate, but they do seem extremely complementary. Again, both of them focused in different categories of the important space for global payments. What is certain is that both Ripple and Stellar are disruptive technologies which are revolutionizing the global payment space through increased utility of Ripple's XRapid and Stellar payment solutions utilizing XLM. It is my opinion that both XRP and the XLM digital assets are in play. XRP is an important part of the Ripple solution for banks and payment providers. XLM is a critical part of the Stellar use case to decrease costs of smaller payment transactions between different countries and currencies, and easily bringing banking to those who are currently without. If you enjoyed today's video, please give a thumbs up. Leave some comments below. I'm sure many of you have some feedback on the XLM, XRP, Ripple versus Stellar conversation. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And before I sign off, I do want to put out a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not providing any form of financial advice. But if I am going to give you any advice, then let it be this. Do your own research. Invest only what you can afford. Invest only what you can afford to lose. And don't buy or sell based on the FUD or FOMO that's spread online. And with that, I look forward to seeing you on my next video. And until that time, keep on hodling your crypto.